Have you ever wondered how one man's dream could change the course of a nation's history? Imagine a world where an individual's vision, courage, and resilience could ignite a movement for equality and social justice. Today, we delve into the life of such a man, Martin Luther King Jr., whose monumental impact on the civil rights movement continues to shape our world. His story is one of determination, sacrifice, and unwavering belief in the power of dreams. Let's journey through the life of this extraordinary man. Born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, King was no ordinary child. From an early age, he was immersed in a family deeply rooted in religious faith and community leadership. His father, Martin Luther King Sr., was a prominent Baptist minister, and his mother, Alberta Williams King, was a choir director. This familial backdrop significantly influenced King's upbringing, instilling in him a strong sense of social conscience and commitment to service. King's thirst for knowledge was insatiable. He attended Booker T. Washington High School, where he stood out as a gifted student. At the tender age of 15, he enrolled in Morehouse College, a distinguished institution for African American men, where he studied sociology. His intellectual journey didn't stop there. He later attended Crozer Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he became enamored with the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi on nonviolent resistance. King's educational pursuits culminated at Boston University, where he earned a doctorate in systematic theology in 1955. It was here that he delved deeper into the complexities of religious philosophy and social ethics. The seeds of his future activism were sown as he grappled with the philosophical underpinnings of social justice and equality. King's early life and education were instrumental in shaping his worldviews. The experiences and lessons of his youth would later fuel his relentless pursuit of civil rights. His intellectual curiosity, coupled with his deep-rooted sense of justice, set the stage for his future role as a civil rights leader. Little did he know, his path was leading him to become a beacon of hope and justice. King's first major role in the civil rights movement came in 1955. Picture this: a young, passionate minister in Montgomery, Alabama, stepping forward to lead a cause that would ignite the flame of change. This was the beginning of Martin Luther King Jr.'s journey into activism, the Montgomery bus. Boycott was a pivotal moment, not just for King, but for the civil rights movement as a whole. It all began when Rosa Parks, a brave black woman, refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on a segregated bus. This act of defiance sparked a citywide boycott of the bus system, led by none other than Martin Luther King Jr. For 381 days, black residents of Montgomery refused to use the bus system, a significant blow to the city's economy. King was at the forefront, his home bombed, his life threatened. Yet he stood strong, encouraging peaceful protest and civil disobedience. This was King's first taste of national fame. His leadership during the boycott brought the struggle for civil rights to the forefront of America's consciousness. King's approach to activism was deeply influenced by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He was a staunch advocate of nonviolent resistance, believing in the power of love and peace to overcome hatred and injustice. He once said, "Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon. It is a sword that heals." This philosophy was not just a tactic, it was a way of life for King. He lived and breathed nonviolence, teaching others to do the same. He preached about love, about understanding, about the power of peaceful protest. But let's not forget, King was more than just a leader. He was a man of extraordinary courage, a man who stood up to injustice, who faced threats and violence with unwavering resolve. He embodied resistance, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to equality. King was not just a leader, he was the embodiment of resistance and resilience. His journey into activism was a testament to his spirit, his courage, and his enduring legacy. His story reminds us of the power of standing up, of speaking out, of fighting for what is right. In 1963, King delivered a speech that would echo through the ages. This wasn't just any speech. It was a rallying cry, a beacon of hope, and a call to action that would forever change the course of history. This was the iconic "I Have a Dream" speech, delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington. The March on Washington was a monumental event, a peaceful protest attended by over 200,000 people, all united in their demand for jobs and freedom. It was on this grand stage that King, with his powerful and passionate rhetoric, captured the attention of a nation and the world. His words were not just heard, they were felt. They resonated in the hearts of those who were present, and they reverberated through television sets and radios across the country. In his speech, King painted a vivid picture of a future where all people, regardless of their race, would live together in harmony. He dreamt of a world where his children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He dreamt of a day when freedom and justice would be realities for all, not just the privileged few. But the "I have a dream" speech was more than just a dream. It was a powerful articulation of the injustices that African Americans faced and a plea for change. It was a message of hope, but also a demand for action. It was a call to the conscience of a nation, urging them to live up to their ideals of liberty and justice for all. The impact of this speech on the civil rights movement and the nation cannot be overstated. It galvanized a generation to rise up against injustice, to fight for their rights, and to strive for a better future. It gave momentum to the civil rights movement, influencing legislation and leading to significant changes in American society. King's dream was not just a vision, it was a call to action for equality and freedom. His words continue to inspire us today, reminding us of the enduring struggle for social justice and the power of non-violent protest. His "I have a dream" speech was not just a moment in history, but a timeless message of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of dreams. King's work did not stop with his dream. Indeed, the dream was just the beginning of Martin Luther King Jr.'s journey, a journey that transcended far beyond the boundaries of his famous speech. Following his dream, King's activism took a more direct form, one that was deeply rooted in non-violence and civil disobedience. His campaign in Birmingham, Alabama, is a testament to this. He led a series of peaceful protests and sit-ins, challenging the city's segregation laws, knowing full well the risks he was taking. It was a time of high tension and volatility, but King stood firm, his resolve unshaken. His courage and leadership during this period were instrumental in bringing about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But King's fight for equality didn't stop there. He was also at the forefront of the pivotal Selma to Montgomery marches. These marches were a non-violent response to the systematic denial of voting rights to African Americans in the South. Over the course of 3 marches, King and his fellow activists walked 54 miles, their journey echoing the long and arduous path to social justice they were treading. Yet King understood that civil rights were intrinsically linked to economic equality. He knew that the dream he had of a just and equal society could only be realized when economic barriers were dismantled. With this understanding, he launched the Poor People's Campaign, a movement aimed at addressing economic inequality. King believed in a society where every individual, regardless of their race or class, had equal opportunities to thrive. Martin Luther King Jr. was more than just a dreamer. He was a doer. He was a fighter. He was a man who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. He dedicated his life to transforming his dream into a reality that we are still striving to achieve today. King was a tireless advocate for justice till his last breath. And it is our duty to carry on his legacy, to continue his fight, and to ensure that his dream does not remain just a dream. Though King's life was tragically cut short, his legacy lives on. On April 4th, 1968, a devastating blow was dealt to the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King Jr., the voice of peaceful protest and a beacon of hope for millions, was assassinated. The news sent shockwaves around the globe, marking a day of mourning for a man who dared to dream of a better world. In the United States, cities erupted in an outcry of grief and anger. Yet amid the sorrow, there was a determination not to let King's dream die with him. His teachings, his passion, and his unwavering commitment to peaceful protest became a guiding light for the ongoing struggle for civil rights. In the years following his death, King's influence continued to grow. His words echoed in the hearts of people, not just in America, but around the world, inspiring new generations to stand up against injustice. His dream transcended borders, cultures, and languages, becoming a universal call for equality. In 1986, nearly 2 decades after his untimely death, Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established. Celebrated on the third Monday in January, it is a day of reflection, service, and recommitment to the ideals King championed. It is a day to remember the man who, despite facing insurmountable challenges, dared to dream of a world where all individuals would be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Today, King's teachings remain as relevant as ever. In an era where social and racial inequalities still persist, his words serve as a powerful reminder of the ongoing struggle for justice. His dream, while not yet fully realized, continues to inspire millions to fight for a world free of prejudice and discrimination. As we honor King, we remember that the fight for equality and justice is far from over. His legacy reminds us that change is possible, that dreams can become reality, and that each one of us